Mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Hope you're having a great day and I hope you're all well. In this week's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the engine first. I need to strip the engine down a little bit more, basically so I can move it. And I've got an infestation of spiders in the dashpod, so we need to sort that out. But I've got a very quick unboxing to do. It's probably not hard to work out what this is. It comes from Graham's Imp Spares, and again I've got to thank Mr. Paul Jeffries for sorting me out here. So what Paul's managed to do is track down some more imp wheels for me. So yeah, they come from Graham's Imp Spares. Yeah, sent to me on behalf of Paul Jeffries. So Paul, thank you once again. And I've not actually looked at these yet. They are obviously second hand, but I don't mind because they'll be going away for shot blasting and powder coating, so we'll get them looking like new. That one's not a bad one actually. But yeah, basically what I kind of feared and what some people said actually is, now that you said about that, imp wheels will go in short supply on eBay, and honestly, ever since I posted that video, and before then actually, I've been looking and I have not seen any more imp wheels on eBay. They just have not been coming up for sale. Before I decided to do that to the wheels, there was flipping loads on there. Isn't that just the case? And there was even brand new or new old stock wheels on there for relatively cheap. But yeah, that is just the way it goes. But yeah, I've got a set now anyway. So I've got 3 wheels and I've got 2, so I've got 5 wheels in total actually. So I've got enough to do all 4 and have a spare wheel as well. So yeah, let's get into this week's video. Right, almost feel like I've been cheating because I've been doing bits off camera. I've tried to capture as much as I can, but sometimes I just want to get on with stuff. So I need this little trolley off the bottom, which I'll put a bigger bit of ply on to support the body while I take the subframe out, which means I've got to get the engine off the little trolley. That engine is so heavy, even though it hasn't got the head on at the moment, I can't lift it on my own. So as you can see, I've taken off the wok on this end. I've taken the distributor out, I've taken the engine mount off this end, and I've taken both pot joints out just to make it lighter, and it is just about liftable now. Now you might ask why I don't go and get the crane. I guess I could do, to be honest. I was thinking, where am I going to connect it up to, but I could guess I could go around there maybe, and somewhere around the back of the engine. I wouldn't risk going on there because it's only held on with 1 bolt. But anyway, I think it's just about liftable now anyway. I've literally only got to lift it off there and put it on the floor, so I can almost sort of slide it off. But yeah, like I say, I've got the wok off, I've got the pot joints out, distributor, engine mount. It's surprising how that's a really heavy bit of metal, that is. Adds quite a bit of weight. Yeah, I don't know what it is in kilos, but it's quite a bit. So yeah, let me get on with that. I've got a bit of a hypothesis on the I mentioned in the last video when we're looking inside the engine and how fantastic a condition it was. There's literally no rust inside there at all. So someone said, has it had a rust inhibitor in it? It almost certainly has done, and quite a strong strength as well. So antifreeze is a rust inhibitor. That's why one of the reasons you put it in. It's not just called antifreeze, it's called, that's why they call it coolant, because it's got rust. It's not just there to stop the engine freezing, it's there to stop the internals corroding as well. So that's why you never want to run plain water in your engine. It should always be a mix of coolant. So front of the engine's very, very clean. I say clean, a little bit rusty, but clearly no oil leaks there. It does still have a bit of this oil down the bottom here, but round the back, I don't know how well it will come out in the video, but it's quite clear to see that valve chest, is it a valve chest cover? I can't remember. That cover's been leaking. You can see, I don't know, say whether it comes out in the video, but you can quite clearly see where it's all come from there. But this, it looks horrible, But this stuff on the back here is really, it's not like ground in or it's thick or anything like that. It's really fine stuff. It's literally like dust soaked in oil. So my hypothesis, I like a good old hypothesis, you can see more of it here, it's just like oily dust, is that, yeah, it's a very low mileage car, but I reckon for a period in its life, someone's just been going out maybe once a week, once a month, once a fortnight, whatever it is, and just starting up and just leaving it running for 20 minutes, half hour, just to keep the battery charged up and that sort of thing. And if it was a dusty workshop and we've got the leak down the back of here, that would explain it. As I say, this is not your normal sort of grime you get on the back of an engine where it's had a leak, where you get all sort of road grime and that in it as well. It's just like oily dust. So that's my hypothesis anyway, that's what I'm going with. So let me get that off and then we will move on to the subframe. I didn't quite give myself a hernia, but that was very heavy. I did just have to tilt it over and slide it off that little trolley in the end. But it's quite handy actually, because I've got the like plastic floor tiles. That's in a plastic drip tray. It's really easy to move around now, and the tray's quite easy to move, so I could just slide that around. I just need to clean all of this engine off, and then I will probably, I want to do gearbox oil seals, but I will probably clean it all off, get it painted, get the head back on so I can get the hoist back on there, and then I can lift it up and do all the gaskets down below. But that'll do me for the moment. I will cover this, I keep meaning to do that so I don't get any rubbish inside the bores. So we've got our little engine skate here. I made this originally with this chipboard on the top. It just fell to pieces, and then Mark made it a little bit better for me because he's a carpenter, I'm not. So yeah, that's usually I use that for moving the engines around. It's perfect size for it, but when I want to put the body on it, I'll just use this piece of wood here. I've done this before with the front and rear subframes. Don't ask me why it's got a cutout on the bottom there, it just has. So that will go, I'll screw that onto the little engine trolley, and that'll be used to move the car around once the subframe's out. And people might look at that and think, well, that's not very substantial. Once the subframe's out in front of the car, the front is really light. Next job's a bit of a weird one. I don't know whether you can see it, but there's a spider in the bottom of the gauge there, temperature and fuel gauge. Probably quite hard to see. Can you see it down the bottom there? He could be 37 years old, that spider. So yeah, it's a bit of a pain because you've got to take all this apart just to get him out. Now, that's funny screws on here. They're not crosshead, they're not flathead, they're a bit of both. I wonder whether they're meant to be some sort of anti-tamper screw. But I think I can get them out of a screwdriver anyway. They definitely don't have screws like this on the later ones, I know that for sure. They're just a bit more fiddly. Show you what I mean in a minute, hopefully. When I can get one out. I don't know whether you'll see that. Don't know whether it's bright enough. But yeah, it's like 1, 2, 3 slots in there, but it's not posy. It's not quite flathead. It's just a bit of a pain. It's almost like they're tamper-proof. They are very weird. Do apologise, I put the GoPro on the workbench I'm working on, so that means it's rattling around. Hopefully the image stabilisation will sort all of that out. it won't sort that out. Get those funny screws out. Right, so there he is. Look at him. It's a pain, isn't it? So these are not as easy as a later minis. The later minis are just plastic clips on the side. But these are, that might even be proper glass instead of plastic. There we go. That's it, he's out. I'm not going to touch the inside of there because they should be clean. I will, however, give these a bit of a clean off with glass cleaner while that plastic's off. So bear with me. I won't show you putting this back together actually because it's really boring. But yeah, all of that just to get a spider out. Right, there we go, all back together. I reckon they are some sort of tamper-proof screws, maybe to stop people clocking the cars. And I did take the glass out in the end. It's nice to see real glass on the instrument cluster on a car. Nothing's glass nowadays, it's all plastic. So I took them out and just cleaned out both sides, and they are like crystal clear now. Even the plastic ones, when they're brand new, are not that clear. So that looks nice. And that pod's all cleaned up now. I've given it a good wipe over. That'll go up in the loft, waiting refitting on the car at a later date.